So, yesterday's breakthrough solutions are today's historical curiosities. Again, the way we made things in the past become moments where we ask, why the heck did we do it that way? Over time, our tools and problems change. But the artifacts from how we solved them, they tend to stick around a little longer. So tonight I ask you, what kind of historical curiosities are you making? To understand what I mean, let's go back 114 years to the Marshall Islands, where a local method of navigating the oceans was giving way to the one we're familiar with now. If you do not have magnetic compasses or an idea of latitude and longitude, you need to use what's around you to define your location and direction. You start by looking at the skies, and you see where the stars rise and set. And from watching this, you can create a compass. Now, in this part of the world, you have a unique advantage of the trade winds. Over thousands of miles of open ocean, they create regular swells in the water that hit the islands and reflect back with such predictability, you can use the waves to determine where you are. In the islands, all of this knowledge gets recorded, and it gets passed down in the form of charts made from sticks and shells. In 1895, a German captain, Captain Winkler, was asked to find out how do these charts work. He started by meeting with a local chief. And amidst 93-degree temperatures, the chief closed all the doors and windows in the building and threatened the interpreter with death if he divulged any of the secrets. Little came of the first meeting, other than a belief that the islanders had a special intuition for the water. In the following years, Captain Winkler met with more chiefs. He bribed them. He got them drunk. He played them against one another until he was able to paint a fairly complete picture of the way the charts worked. Now, what I found interesting is that many of the chiefs disagreed with one another about how to interpret the charts. There were subtle wave conditions around each of the islands, and shortcuts taken when the maps were made that meant you had to have the knowledge of the original map maker if you wanted to be able to use them safely. Captain Winkler ended his 10 years of research with 5 charts, their meanings, and a disclaimer that he only repeated what he was told. So we're going to go ahead and make one of these charts. We'll start here with a map of the islands, but we have to move them so we see them the way the islanders did, related by water rather than distance in fixed position. Then we'll add the primary waves created by the trade winds and some secondary offshore waves. When these waves hit the islands and reflect back, they cross the original waves, and these were marked by knots on the original charts. Then, at the points where we can actually see the other islands off in the horizon, we'll note those here. Now, it's one thing to go ahead and make one of these charts in 30 seconds on a slide, but to use them, you have to know the ocean. You have to understand and be able to feel the ocean and have had thousands of hours on it to really be safe. So whether it was due to the secrecy, the skills required, or colonization, these charts are now just pictures on stamps. They're artifacts in museums and trinkets for tourists. All of that knowledge that was had is now relegated to a historical curiosity. But it could have been different. Imagine if the experience, the skills, went into improving and enhancing the maps that replace the stick charts. In this 1792 map from a Belgian, we get an idea of what this could have looked like. There's waves drawn around each of the islands, almost like the reflections. Unfortunately, it was just for show. So I look to today. There's more data, more analysis, and more complexity than anything I've ever seen before. And I'm thinking that a lot of the how and why we solve problems is going to be lost in all these layers of information. Captain Winkler came in at the end of an era. He missed out on a lot of local knowledge. But imagine the difference if at the beginning you asked the question, what will the legacy be of the historical curiosity I make? Thank you.
Thank you very much.